When the Cookie Crumbles. My name is Susan Reddick, and I am your host. And I'm so excited because this is a show about real people, their real stories, and how we're going to use that to help people and to heal people and encourage them. So today I'm so excited. My guest is Atira Anderson. Welcome. Welcome. And Atira, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I'm Atira Anderson, born and raised here in Orlando, Florida. I'm a mother of four. I've been in corporate for 25 plus years now. And so I've been over in the corporate banking side of it and finance for the last 12 to 15 years. And during the pandemic, I finally took the leap and launched Anderson & Co., which is an interior design and decor business, and also a candle line. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Okay, well, I can tell from your jacket, you can jazz it up. I feel a little underdressed, but that's a jazzy jacket you got on. So I can just imagine what your house looks like. Okay, well, what I want to do, you told me what you do. Now I want to know a little bit about your story. So let me ask you a question. What do you think was a low point in your life? I mean, what a low point? We know where you are today. What was a low point in your life?
I would say for me, a low point was being a single mom of three children under the age of 3, about 3, 2, and both of them 1.
You had some steps.
Some steps.
Oh, you had 2 at the same day.
Right.
Okay.
9-10 months apart.
Yeah.
And feeling like that was always going to be the situation, that was always going to be my life, and that they will always be babies. And I'll never forget an older lady who used to keep them by the name of Miss Wright. And I remember one day it had rained that night, and I was working 2 jobs, and I would go from one job and I wouldn't see them, and then catch the bus to her house after I got off at 11, 12 o'clock at night, go in to get them, to make it back to the last bus that was going to run that night. And I remember it had rained, and I was just exhausted. And I remember her saying,
take your time.
I remember her saying, they won't always be babies.
Yeah.
And she said, it won't always be like this.
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. I'll never forget that. And from that day forward, I remember walking back down the sidewalk after it had rained, going back to catch the bus to go home with those 3 little children, 1 on the hip, 2, walking the
dragging to along.
Yeah. And get back on the bus. And so from that day forward, that kind of I never looked at that them in the situation of being a single mother again the same. And so from that day forward, I remembered that they're not going to be babies always. And today, I have 4 adult grown children. They all healthy, strong. The boys are married, and so they're doing beautiful things. So that was, I think, was a low moment for me that night.
Yeah.
Thinking that that was never going to end.
And I understand that. I've been a single mother. I'm married now, but when my children were small, I was a single mother. And I never forget when I first moved back to town, I got out of the military. I didn't have a car, and I was catching the bus. And I lived in the downtown area, and I would catch one bus down to Bumby. And the bus would go down to the mall and make a circle. So I would have to jump off the bus, run with my 2 kids, kind of hurl them into the daycare, get back to the bus stop so I could catch that same bus back to town, because I was going to work at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I know that feeling of almost desperation sometimes, just feel exhausted and not knowing. A lot of times people don't know. They see your kids all put together and everything. They don't know what you've gone through to get there.
They see the finished part of it.
The finished product. Okay, well, we talked about that. I know a lot of people won't be able to relate with that. And I'm actually glad that the emotion that you just showed, because people need to know, just sometimes, when I talk about things sometimes, just the thought of it, it still hurts. Yeah. It brings that pain back when I'm talking about it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when you got through that point, so tell me about a high point now.
I would say a high point for me was making a decision to become a homeowner. And for my birthday last year, I got the keys to my brand new home. So that was the ultimate high for me because that was, and I kept
You
putting
didn't
it
need no party.
I didn't need no party.
That was the best present you could have got right there.
Didn't need no party. No, that was the biggest gift I could have gotten at the moment. Is to be able to get my keys and to open the door, and it was my home. I had worked for that, and I had done it. So that was a high for me during the pandemic.
During the
pandemic, that happened for me. So that was an amazing feeling. I still every day I get home, I pull up in the driveway.
It feel good doing
it. I feel
it.
good, and so it's almost like the first day.
This
I
man
got there.
okay. I know I said that wrong.
Right.
All my friends, whenever I use a slang, they always get mad. Like, you just messed that up, okay? Well, that, you know what? So that right now just tells you, that's going to tell somebody out there that it can happen.
Absolutely.
That you went from working 2 jobs, trying to get back to the last bus, dragging 3 kids, little kids, to now pulling up in your driveway that say Anderson on it.
Right.
Did it all by yourself.
Absolutely.
Amen. All right, well, tell us about this company that you created. We know you work in corporate America, and I really believe that, especially when you first start now. You better have a daytime job because being an entrepreneur can be very hard.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So tell us about this new adventure you have going on here.
Well, I think Anderson and Co. is interior design, decor, candle making, just homemaking is the fuel that lights my fire.
Okay.
And so she's a baby, but she's my baby. And just growing and coming up with different ideas. And when you're an entrepreneur, your wheels spin all night long.
Yeah, you don't have no days.
Right, exactly. So when I leave here, I got to go back and pack orders.
Yeah.
But when you will the early nights, the late nights and the early mornings, like you said, because I still work a 9 to 5.
Yes.
And so sometimes I get up at 4 so I can pack orders, take them to the post office, and come back to the house.
Be work on time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it is. I think that for me, Anderson and Co. It's the bringing that feeling of home to everything that I touch. Every home that I go in, every e-design that I do, making them feel how I would want to feel when I'm walking through the door of home. So making a house a home in that aspect of it. And so a lot of times I love doing the thing that most people, they're like, listen, I hate going to the store. I don't like it. It takes up a lot of time. For me, I could do it for hours and hours and hours. I could do it every day from sun up to sundown, and I'm not tired. And so that's what Anderson and Co. is for me, giving people a little bit of me, love, caring, kindness, all wrapped up. And
So you love nothing better than just a clean slate. You're like an artist.
right.
You can just see what you're gonna do. You're thinking colors and all of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. What about the candle business? The candle part of that business.
Well, candles are. I'm still an addict. It's almost like every fragrance, every smell, it sets a different tone to whatever room you walk in. And so you can be in a bad mood, or you can be down, or whatever it is, or you could just need a pick me up. You light a candle, and especially exactly,
Yeah.
and it just does something to you.
I never thought about it.
It just does something to you. It changes the entire trajectory of the room. And so I said, well, I buy a lot of them. I buy a lot of them, and I love them. Well, let me, and you never get quite, you get the smells, and you get the fragrances and aromas, but a lot of times you don't get the one that you like.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to create the aromas that were different and that weren't generic or whatnot, and so that had a lot of love going into the pouring and the selection of what goes on into them. So that's why I decided to create the I Choose collection.
So real quick, because we got to wrap up. So your candles, they all have a different name on them.
Yes. And they all mean something different. The I Choose collection, I decided what really hit home for me is because I make a choice every day to get up. I get after everything I've been through, I get up and I choose to heal every single day. I choose me.
Okay.
Out of everything else, because for a long time I chose everybody else.
Yeah.
I choose to love in spite of. I choose prosperity over being in poverty, and I choose peace in my life every single day. And so I chose that line because people do the same thing.
It's four different.
It's five.
It's five.
Yeah. Five.
Okay.
And so you can choose the same thing. So however you feel, that's what they all mean. They mean whatever that particular prosperity to heal. Peace, love, and me. And so those five, if you choose, if you feel like you choosing you today, then you get me.
So I see you got something there with you. Did you bring one with you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now let me see this because I'm gonna try to take that home with me. All right. So now, which one is this?
That is prosperity.
Oh, perfect. Is this for me?
Yes,
Can I
that's
keep
for
this?
you.
Okay, well, that's the new requirement for the show. You gotta bring me something. Set the bar right here. You can blame Atira for it, okay? All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Leave everybody with a nugget. The entrepreneurs, the single mother that is working that job that she doesn't want to do and catching that bus late at night. Give them some encouraging words, a little nugget to make it.
If I had to leave you with anything today, first and foremost for me, I know that I'm absolutely nothing without God.
Amen.
Absolutely nothing. And He's the reason why I'm able to be not a perfect parent, but I've been a present parent. And so stay present as a parent. There are no perfect parents. I couldn't give my children what I didn't have. And as an entrepreneur, keep going. Every day, get up and put forth the same effort that you would put into your 9 to 5. Put it into your business. And you're gonna look up one day in Anderson and Co. It will be the next Home Goods, and it'll be in every home and spa across the nation. So you just gotta believe that.
And I will be looking for my percentage of it because I'm putting it right here. No, seriously. You know what? This is what this show is all about. It's about this story. That was a real story. And that real story is going to help somebody. So I want to thank you for being on the show.
And thank you.
I would love to thank my audience. And I want you to tell somebody about the show because we got some good stuff going on here. And I will see you next week on When the Cookie Crumbles.